That's the best question I've ever been asked. That this interview is over with. I don't need to do any more. This is the best. I had taken a departure out of East Texas with my previous book, The Hollywood Assistant. And so that was set in LA. And I thought after, setting four novels in East Texas, not that I was done with it, but maybe for a minute. And no, as soon as I wrote the LA book and I had fun doing that, I was like, oh my God, I've got to get back. I got to get back home. And I wanted to set it in the 80s, not only because I feel like a lot of the audience for Little House on the Prairie grew up in the 80s, but also it was kind of a creepy era. Everything was happening offline. You couldn't call someone from a cell phone if you're in the middle of the woods at a keg party and something's going down. And so I wanted that sort of someone could be lurking around the corner and there's no way you're going to get help, feeling. And also the 80s were just so fun. It was like, big hair, shoulder pads, Aquanet, NXS. It just the music and the alcohol and the sort of the debauchery of it and the era of children and teens without helicopter parents. So I wanted to also, because that was pretty much my childhood and high school years. We were having a lot of damn good times out in those woods. And wow, it's a miracle we're all still here. And anyway, Nellie Anderson is basically a little bit based on the Nellie from Little House on the Prairie. She is the town's rich bitch, if you will. And even though her mom and dad are the wealthiest people in town, Nellie doesn't have what she wants the most, which is just like the best. She's not like the most gorgeous teenage girl. And her parents are movie star gorgeous. And so she's always been a little bit of a black sheep in town. And she also has a very dark side to her. She has been uh, pressured and coddled by her mom from the word go because her mom grew up poor and clawed her way to the top. And so she's just a product of, she's been enabled too much and she's an only child and she always gets what she wants and what she can't get for herself, her mother, Charlie, gets for her. And so she's a very edgy, provocative, explosive teen waiting for the chain of events that is the plot to happen to set her off. In the book, she is there. The newcomers come to town, the seemingly wholesome Swift family. The mom's a trad wife, the dad is a woodworker. They're Christian. They spew the gospel, and instantly the mom and daughter are both popular. And Nellie can't stand it, and neither can her mom, because these women have nothing. And so why is everyone in town all of a sudden obsessed with them? So that's kind of the setup. I think also because the Swifts they're not really who they say they are. I did want to get into sort of the class warfare of, you know, um, okay, if the rich bitch can't get what she wants, which is the newcomer's secret boyfriend, what's going to happen and how does that play out? And also, I don't know, also like in a way, just having the collision course between them, I wanted to have like that be the real explosive chain of events. That it's not just Nellie versus the teen, it's also the mothers versus each other. And for different reasons. Like for the same reason, yes, these women don't have anything. Why are they getting everyone's attention? But then also there's even more personal reasons. And the Jackson character and his kind of ultimate betrayal of Nellie's mom. And I don't want to spoil, but I don't know. I did definitely want to try to tackle, unlike the Hunting Wives, which is single POV. I wanted to have ensemble POV. I wanted to challenge myself to, well, I mean, also like I feel like it helps make things a little more easily adaptable if you have an ensemble cast. And There's this great thriller called Girls and Their Horses by Eliza Jane Brazier, and she had an ensemble cast in it, and so that book was the biggest inspiration for this book. And it's kind of like Mean Girls with in the horse world. It's great. So yeah, I wanted to hear from a lot of different points of view, and probably my favorite character is the character of Jackson, and that's Charlie's kind of sidekick. He was going to start out being kind of the Greek chorus of the book and the conscious, and then I don't know, as I got into his voice and head, I found out he had a lot more to say, and then got more. He became more of a main character, and he's probably the most redeemable character in the book, and definitely probably in many ways the hero, where Nellie is more like the anti-hero, anti-heroine. I really do try to get out of the way and let the characters tell the damn story themselves as much as possible and be themselves as unapologetically as possible. That's when I feel like I'm doing my job, which is I'm not doing my job because they're doing it for me. And that's when I feel like I'm most in the zone. So yeah, I'm never really kind of rooting for someone's demise or success. Same for all the little houses, because there's a lot of explosive moments in that book too. And that's interesting that you asked me that, because those are the things that I'm like, okay, I'm going to get to the fun stuff soon. Hopefully. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, really. It's also the answer to every question. I try to write by instinct and I hope that it all works out.